Welcome to the 35th Annual Tree of Lights Media Campaign Kickoff. I'm Jake Truitt, Director of Development for Hospice of Wichita Falls. This year, for the first time, our media kickoff is virtual due to COVID-19. In the past 8 months, our lives have changed in ways we could have never imagined. But what hasn't changed is the need for the care, hope, and support that Hospice of Wichita Falls provides. In fact, those three things are needed today more than ever. As you know, the Tree of Lights is our largest annual fundraising event, and this year's goal is $250,000. Every dollar raised helps to ensure that our services are available to everyone who needs them, regardless of their ability to pay. Plans for our 35th annual Tree of Lights campaign are now well underway. While changes to the Tree of Lights must happen due to the current circumstances, we still look forward to this hallmark of the holiday season with anticipation and hope. Each year, you generously support this season of giving by sharing important dates, highlighting ways to give, and truly driving home the importance of every gift. And we are very grateful for your partnership. The Tree of Lights shines with the memories of our loved ones, and this season brings opportunities to share stories of faith, family, and of community. We have a special message for you today, shared by a social worker from the Head Start program at the WFISD. It's a firsthand account of her family's hospice journey. This is Lisa's story.
Hello, I'm honored to be here to share the journey of my husband John and my daughter Bree during their cancer battles and the impact that the staff of hospice had on our lives during this difficult time. Bree's journey began in May of 2013 at the age of 22 when she was diagnosed with brain cancer just 6 days after graduating from college. She had surgery where the doctor removed 90% of her tumor, and this started her life of having MRIs every 2 to 3 months and then taking chemo on and off over the next 5 years. She started working at the school that she went to and worked with special needs children and was surrounded by the most amazing people. She continued to live her life to the fullest. We decided early on we were going to give this burden to God and let Him carry it for us. We were going to continue to love life and continue to make memories. She had so much community support, and there was so much outpouring of love. In December of 2016, Bree got engaged. And then in December of 2016, 2 days after Christmas, my husband John was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He was not a candidate for surgery, and he had lost his mother and brother to pancreatic cancer, so he knew the battle that he was facing. In 2017, John and Bree started their cancer journey together. They were often taking chemo at the same time, and they were both fighting cancers where there was no cure. So they both knew that they were faced with a difficult battle. Our two sons, Colton and Braden, along with their wives, Sarah and Brittany, were so involved in John and Bree's care. Braden is Bree's twin. Our 4 grandchildren also brought us so much joy during this time. Colton and his family made the decision to move back to the area. Our focus was to find the best treatment possible for both of them and to remain hopeful and keep our faith in God and to trust Him every step of the way. Bree and John both received treatment at UT Southwest in Dallas. Bree was always giving John pep talks that he often gave her at the time of her diagnosis. They were often doing their chemo together, and they were always encouraging each other. If one of them started to get down, the other one was right there with encouraging words. In the spring of 2017, we started trying to plan Bree's wedding. That was a challenge because both Bree and John were doing chemo, so we were trying to find a time that was going to work for both of them where they would both feel well. John did not want to postpone the wedding. He wanted to be able to walk Bree down the aisle. So she ended up getting married in September of 2017, and we had the most beautiful day to have that wedding. It was perfect. Bree and John went to Dallas for 6 weeks for radiation, 3 weeks after the wedding. They often referred to each other as roomies as they shared an apartment together. In 2018, John started a clinical trial because his chemo stopped working. Bree continued on her chemo. In August of 2018, Bree had just returned to work after being off for the summer because she worked for the schools. She started having tremors in her hands and was having difficulty writing. I remember her calling me after the first day of school when she went back to work saying, I'm having trouble writing, I don't know what's wrong. So we talked about that we knew that could be seizure activity. And she had a doctor's appointment that week, and so we were going to talk to the doctor about it. So at the doctor, they did the scans, as they always did, and her scans showed a lot of growth, and it appeared that her tumor had become more aggressive. So they scheduled a biopsy for the end of August, and we were devastated by the news. Her tumor was now classified as a glioblastoma, which is the worst kind of brain cancer that you can have. She was not a candidate for surgery at this time because of the location of her tumor in the brain. So her doctors in Dallas helped us find a clinical trial at MD Anderson. So we went to MD Anderson in September, but she was unable to participate in this promising clinical trial after having a seizure while we were there. She was hospitalized for 4 days, and then we returned home to begin a different chemo. Right after we returned home, John became sicker, and he started feeling really bad. So he ended up in the hospital during the middle of November. His scans revealed that the cancer had spread to his liver, and he was given weeks to live. He decided to start radiation again for pain management and to hopefully help him survive until the holidays. After a couple of radiation treatments, John told Braden, on their way home from this treatment, he said that he was ready to stop treatment because he had to get to heaven before Bree did. Hospice started providing services at that time, and John passed away on November the 30th, 2018, at hospice. Bree was losing motor skills, and in early December, the day after John's funeral, she made the decision to stop treatment. We had taken her to the doctor that day, and they told us there really wasn't any other treatment that she could do. So she said she was ready to stop treatment. Hospice began providing care immediately. Bree passed away on February the 3rd, 2019, at her home under hospice care. Hospice has impacted our lives in so many ways. They provided pain management for John. He was in so much pain, and they provided the care and comfort that he needed. John moved to the hospice center where the staff provided so much love and support to our family. Bree had been care flighted to UT Southwest the night before John was moved to hospice. She returned home in time to be with her dad during his final days. Hospice staff went above and beyond to make sure she was comfortable while spending time with her dad. They made sure that we were all comfortable and made sure that we had beds and recliners available to spend the night with John. Bree began hospice services and needed additional services as time went on due to losing more of her motor skills. We required help with positioning and moving her. I was amazed by the skills of the nurses' aides, who were able to keep her so comfortable while moving her around. They played music for her and were so compassionate and gentle with her. The nurses were so knowledgeable and skilled. They were able to give us so much information about medications, what to expect in the days to come, and how to care for John and Bree. We called them day and night with questions, and they were always there for us. The social workers provided the emotional support that I needed while caring for my husband and my daughter, and then coping with the loss of my husband and then the loss of my daughter. They always expressed their concern and checked on me and all of our family. Volunteers delivered medication to Bree's home, so we did not have to take time away from her to pick up the medication. The hospice doctors came to our home to check on John and Bree. They made sure all of the staff at hospice made sure that we had all of the equipment and supplies that we needed. We never ran out of any supplies. They had beds delivered, wheelchairs and oxygen delivered, and they always had supplies with them when they came to our home. They took care of all of our needs and worries so we could spend precious time with our loved ones. Even after losing John and Bree, hospice staff continued to check on our family and provide support. I honestly do not know what we would do without hospice during this time. We are so blessed to have hospice as part of our community. What the staff do day in and day out is difficult, but they do it so well with so much love and compassion. Because of the Tree of Lights campaign, Hospice of Wichita Falls is able to provide the services like they provided for my family to so many families in the community.
Over the past 35 years, Lisa and thousands of others have trusted Hospice of Wichita Falls to care for the most important people in their lives. A successful Tree of Life campaign will ensure that care, hope, and support continue to be available for all in our community. The need for our services has never been greater, but I'm confident that despite the difficult times we find ourselves in, your support will allow us to continue to fulfill our mission, just as it's done for the past 35 years.